Hello everyone and welcome to another video of the Sky Channel. Now, I've always been curious to know how much I'd need to spend to get certain items in events like mounts or artifacts or back accessories, and it's always a little unclear on how that works. So I decided that I can help out with that by actually trying out myself and sharing my experience with all of you. So the Soul Timber Master event started, and it's like any other event. So there's the option to get a bunch of packs using money. There's that option to buy 10 rolls using 10,000 diamonds, which I have already done so prior to starting this video. So some of the rolls that were for free were already consumed before I started this. And of course, there was the option of getting a 30% off voucher, which was essentially one of the events. So I did claim it, and I will actually use it when I start to purchase packs. So we will do an estimate of how much it costs using the 30% off voucher, but we'll also do an analysis of how much it cost if we didn't use the 30% voucher. Now I also do want to mention that some people might have actually used money to buy diamonds during that Lucky Fortune Cat event, in which case of course you probably spent even lesser to get all of those diamonds, and hence the dollar amount might actually be lesser than the amount I'm saying right now, especially if you were smart enough to save your money and only spend it during that Fortune Cat event to get the diamonds, and then save the diamonds for the event. So let's jump right to the pack store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the most expensive pack, which is the $100 pack, and then I'm going to use a 30% off voucher on it to save me $30. So instead of $100, it's going to cost me $70 to get the $100 pack. Now the reason I didn't go with the cheaper pack and use the voucher on it, even though cheaper packs give a better item to dollar ratio, the thing is I only have one $30 off coupon, so it makes sense to use it on the biggest pack because the difference in the items per dollar isn't that large to make it worth using it on a smaller pack like a $50 pack. It still makes a lot more sense to go with the $100 pack and use still get a better value for the investment. So $100 pack purchase, I got 140 additional items to use for the event. Now of course there's another event going on, and since I used $100 I can actually claim all of those little bonuses as a little extra. But let's go ahead and use up the 140 items and see what we get. Now you can see 49 items were used prior to this. These are the free ones that I got, and well, not entirely free, right? There's the $1 and $10 pack that I purchased, and that gave me a bunch of items to use, but that's a small investment, right? $11 investment, so let's consider that as well. And now there's $100, which is actually 70, but let's say 100. So far we're looking at $111. If you add the coupon in, it's $81. Okay, so start rolling. We're going to do the 10 ones. You can see I'm getting a bunch of those items that can be used to trade for other event items, but nothing else is special coming along. Oh, look at that. I got a limited time award, which is the one I seem to get all the time, and that's the enhancement gear. Now remember, you get a limited item every 100 rolls at minimum, but of course the real limited item that I really want would be that tiger, which I really haven't gotten yet. So we continue doing so. Again, oh, I got another limited one, and this time it is the soul crystals, another common limited item that we always seem to get. Okay, so now we're out of our items to do the rolls, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to claim some of these things, and let's go and try to get a few more of those items from here because we just did all those rolls, and that allows us to advance further in the levels and get a bunch of other items thanks to the $11 investment that we did earlier. There you go, 25 extra rolls to use. So let's go ahead and use them. Nothing special came so far, but I did pass 200, so I do get one of those feather coins which can be used to trade for certain items in the rush store, which is always nice to have, of course. The single rolls didn't give me anything special either. Of course, I am collecting those items that can be used to trade, which is obviously good as well. And I will talk about that in a bit. Those items are fairly valuable. Okay, so I was able able to get 10 more draws thanks to the $11 investment. As you can see, the $11 investment is worth a lot, right? If you aren't investing a lot of money, you might as well just do the $11 because you'll get a bunch of attempts for that $11. Okay, going back there, 10 more rolls, and look at that. We just got a costume, and that's a good one because that's a rare item. So congratulations to me. I was successfully able to get the costume, having spent only $81. Now, $81 for the costume, I think that is a pretty nice deal. Of course, if we didn't have the coupon, we'd be looking at about $111. Okay, now you do want to keep in mind that I also have 45 of those tradable items, so I can get a bunch of other things from the store as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and buy a few more packs. Okay, I'll buy the $1 pack, giving me 2 attempts, and then I will buy the $5 pack, giving me 8 attempts. And I'll buy another one of those $5 packs, giving me 8 more attempts. And then I'll buy a $10 pack, giving me 18 attempts. And I'll buy another $10 pack, giving me 18 more attempts. And then a third $10 pack, giving me 18 more attempts. And then we're going to use the 72 attempts and see what we get. So assuming there was no 30% coupon, we were at 111 before. Then we got a $1 pack, getting us to 112, then 2 $5 packs getting us to 122, and then 3 $10 packs getting us to $152. So $152 if you didn't have the coupon. If you did, 122. Okay, let's use the 72 draws and let's see what we get. We got the tradable item, and then we got another one of those tradable items, and then we got nothing good, and then we got 15 more soul crystals as the limited reward. And let's see again, nothing special, and well, we did get the second feather coin at least, so that's good, and nothing special after that. Let's see if we can get more of the attempts from our earlier $11 investment, and we were able to get 15 more attempts. Let's see what we get. Just some of those items again, and then pretty much the only other valuable thing we got was those items. Okay, so let's go back and let's see if we can get even more attempts from the $11 investment. Well, it seems not. So why don't we go ahead and purchase one of the $20 packs and get 32 more attempts. All right, back there, let's see what we get. Nothing special, just one of those items, and then a few more of those items, and then single attempts gave us nothing special either. Okay, so now we have 72 of those items that can be traded for a bunch of different prices, which is good, but of course what I would really want would be 100 to get the tiger, or if I'm super lucky, 200 to get the mount. Let's go back and see what we can get from our amazing $11 investment. Well, it doesn't get us to the point where we get additional attempts. Okay, let's claim some of those items, and then let's go ahead and get another $20 pack with 32 additional attempts. Okay, done. And now let's go ahead and see what we can get. A bunch of items, and there we go. We got the tiger, which is really cool. This is the back accessory. It's not as rare as the mount, as you can imagine, but this is still a really good one. So I consider that a pretty nice success. Then we can use the rest. Well, pretty much just the items are special in what we're getting. And we did get a bunch more attempts thanks to the initial $11 investment. Let's see what we can get from that. A bunch of items, and well, we did finally get to 400 points, which is a threshold, and that gets us 10 of those tradable items as well. So that's really cool. Okay, so as of now, we have the costume, we also have the back accessory, and if you go here, you'll notice that we already have over 100 of the tradable items. So theoretically, I could buy another one of those tigers. And remember, the thing is that the more of these copies you get, the higher star you can get. And while unlocking it gets you 10% global defense, starring it up by using one extra copy of it gets your global defense up from 10% to 12%. So it's always good to have some copies. So now we have the tiger back accessory. We also have enough of those items to purchase another one of the tigers from the store. And we have a costume. And as of now, I had done 400 of those rolls, and I needed 600 more if I wanted to guarantee myself a mount. Now, I consider myself a little lucky to have gotten the tiger back accessory in 400 rolls, and of course also getting that costume. But let's talk about how much theoretically we would have spent if we didn't have the coupon. So there was was the $11 initial investment to unlock those 2 columns that give us a lot of more attempts for rolling. Then I bought the $100 pack, giving me 140 roll attempts. Then I got a $1 pack, followed by 2 $5 packs, followed by 3 $10 packs, followed by 2 $20 packs. So in total, I would have spent $192 to get these 400 attempts. Of course, this included some of the free ones as well, and this also included the extremely cheap large number of attempts you get from the $11 that you spent in unlocking those 2 columns. Now, of course, for me, since I had the 30% off coupon, I did not spend $192. I actually only spent $162. And if I had made sure that I got those diamonds into my account during the Fortune Cat event, it probably would have been much lesser than 162 to get me 2 back accessories and 1 costume. Now at this point, there are still additional free rolls that I can still benefit from in the next few days, because I did all of this within the first few days when a lot of those free additional rolls have not been claimed. In fact, a bunch of attempts were still missing from the $11 investment to unlock those 2 columns as well, which means that I could roll even more very shortly. Now, the only problem is if you want to guarantee yourself the amount that comes after 1,000 draws, you still need 600 more attempts after starting the point when you get to 400 attempts. Now, as I mentioned before, there's still a lot of those free ones or extremely cheap ones that we can still get, but let's assume we get even 80 attempts for free throughout the next few days. That would leave us 520 additional attempts required to guarantee that amount. And if you do the math, you realize that you would need to spend $370 from this point to get to 1,000 draws. Now, of course, the benefit to that is that you will actually have a bunch more of those tradable items, and most likely you'll have enough to get a second mount from that store so you can actually start it up as well. But we're talking about $192 without the use of any coupons to get us this far, $370 just so that you can guarantee yourself that mount isn't really that good of an investment. So it's even better if you do not want to keep on spending more and more and more until you get that mount. You might as well just focus on a bunch of different events and buy the ones that give the best value of investment. Sooner or later, unlocking all of these will give you a little bit of a boost. Instead of you spending all of your budget trying to get the final reward, you could consider thinking a little differently and focusing on getting the cheaper ones and potentially ignoring the most expensive ones, unless there's a very good reason that you think it's going to make you much stronger. In that case, you can go ahead and get the maximum price as well. That being said, as I mentioned before, it is a steep slope. $370 extra to get that mount. I'm not really sure if that is really worth it. Now, there is a way to make stuff even cheaper than we talked about earlier, and that is by using Aptoide. Using Aptoide, you can get between 10 to 35% bonus on in-game purchases in The Legend of Mushroom. And the steps are actually fairly simple. All you need to do is follow the video that I'm linking to the description of this video. That'll go through the whole process with you. If you have any questions, you can join our Discord and I can guide you there directly as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like the video, please subscribe to our channel, and please share it with your friends who you think might benefit from it. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one.